Yo, what is up, Sex Beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're doing top 5 Call of Duty Zombies melee weapons. Now this is not my personal opinion, I got this from doing a straw poll in yesterday's live stream, so if you guys like to say in the next top 5, make sure you guys follow me on Twitch and Twitter, so let's go and get this shit started. Coming in number 5 is going to be the elemental stabs, which are a one knife up until round 16. Now really the only thing I use this melee ability for is for the Easter egg. I really don't use it for anything else in this map, because there are a couple other melee weapons that do a lot more damage or are better in certain situations, so really the only thing I use the stabs melee ability for is if I'm doing the Easter egg. So if I'm trying to get the G-string bombs, I'm either at the church meleeing or if I'm Generator 2 meleeing. That's really the only thing I'll use the staff for. Just makes your life a little bit easier, because right after you melee, if you're about to get trapped in a corner, you can easily just use the staff to get yourself out of it. So that's one thing I really kind of do like about the staffs, is that it's actually a melee weapon too. Add on to whatever staff you have, like fire, ice, wind, or lightning. So if you're ever about to get caught in a jam when you're meleeing, you can actually just use the staff to get immediately right out of it. That's the one thing I really do like about the staffs, is if you're actually trying to melee with, there's always that backup to where if you're about to get cornered, you can always just shoot your way out of it with the actual staff without having to switch to a different weapon or anything. But really the only bad part about this melee is it ends at round 16, and really you don't get the upgraded stabs. Well, if you're trying to upgrade them all, you really don't get them all upgraded to like around round 10, give or take a round or two. But still, the stabs are a pretty good melee weapon, so let's go ahead and get on number 4. Alright, and coming in number 4 is going to be the sickle, which was only available in Ascension and Call of the Dead. Now I really do like the sickle. It's a one knife up until round 9, so this is actually one of the weaker melee weapons in zombies, but I really do like it mainly because of the animation. Sometimes when you actually knife a zombie, then you like flip it back to yourself, so I really do like that animation. It's one of the reasons I actually really love the sickle, and I also love how it looks when you actually combine it with a ballistic knife. Same with the Bowie knife, it just looks pretty awesome, and it actually makes it a lot stronger to actually get one hit up until 13. But other than that, the sickle in reality isn't really that good. It's just placed in bad locations, it costs way too much money, and it's going to stop working fairly early on. So I mean, in some strategies it would actually be pretty useful to have, but in more realistic strategies, the sickle is just not really worth even getting. Unless you're just going to buy everything, you might as well just end up buying it, because like I said before, it's just in a bad location, it costs too much money, and it's going to stop working fairly early on. I mean, unless you're playing medic or something and you have the ballistic knives and you want to get the sickle as well, by all means go ahead and get that. It'll make your knifing so much faster and easier. But if you're playing fairly early on and you're trying to hoard up a lot of points, the sickle might not be your best bet. So let's go ahead and get a number 3. Alright, and coming in number 3 is going to be the Bowie knife, and I think the reason the Bowie knife is actually so high on this list is because it just brings back a lot of nostalgic feelings. I mean, we all remember playing in Derice and getting the Bowie knife and just sitting there camping for days. When I first started playing Derice, I always remember that was the first thing everyone wanted to go to was the Bowie knife, because people would always come up, I'm doing air quotes right now, come up with these amazing strategies with the Bowie knife, where you guys just knife until round 9 and 10, and then after that just actually stops working, because this is the same thing as the sickle. It's going to stop working on round 9, it's going to cost you 3,000, and really just depending on what map you're playing, it could be located in a good location or it could be located in a bad location. Derice's location is actually probably in the middle. It's not the best, and it's also definitely not the worst, because you're really depending on where you're going to camp at. Because me personally, I like to camp at power for a long time, so getting the Bowie knife is just definitely out of the question. But the Bowie knife just makes you feel pretty badass. I mean, when you see that huge blade swing across your screen, you're just like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. So I really do enjoy the Bowie knife. Usually I always get it just for the lulz, or really just depending on what map I'm playing, I'll end up getting it. But this is definitely a fan favorite, and I would love to see it return. So let's go ahead and get number 2. Alright, and coming in number 2 is going to be the Golden Spork from Mob of the Dead. It's a one-hit kill up till round 34, so this is going to be working for quite some time, and this is definitely not a melee weapon they can just get so easily. You have to actually do some steps to actually acquire it. If you look on the top left of the screen, there's going to be an annotation on how to get the Golden Spork. Now, one good thing about melee weapons that do a lot of damage and can last you a while, they're really good in close quarter situations. So hypothetically, if you're running down a hallway and a zombie just appears around the corner, he's like, hey, you didn't pay your taxes. And he's like staying there right in the middle of the hallway, and he's the only guy that's in your way. You can just run up to him and knife him really quickly. You don't have to pull out a gun, you can just knife him really quickly. It's really fast and easy, and he's down. That's one of the things I really do love about melee weapons, is they're really fast and they can just get that one zombie out of the way. That's usually one thing I usually use melee weapons for, other than hoarding up points, to where if a zombie ever blocks your path, you can just knife him out of the way real quick. This always helps just to kill that one straggler zombie that just happens to be in your way. There's always that one little zombie that's just a little bit slower that's like, alright, yeah, I'm gonna make sure you can't get by this hallway. But all you have to do is just run up to him, knife him, and he's gonna go down. So let's go ahead and get number 1. Alright, and coming in number 1 is going to be the one-inch punch and or the iron fist. I'm just going to go ahead and include both of these in the same thing, because they're basically sort of the same thing, it's just the upgraded version. The one-inch punch is going to be a 1 punch until round 19, and the iron fist is going to be a 1 punch up until round 36. One thing I really do enjoy about the iron fist is when you actually punch a zombie, that zombie's going to go flying back. And I really do like that, because similar to what I said with the Golden Spork, if there's ever a zombie in your way, you can quickly get rid of them. Another thing I really do enjoy about the Iron Fist is how your punch can have a certain element, so depending on which staff you actually have when you upgrade it, you can have an ice punch, you can have a fire punch, you can have a wind punch, you can have a lightning punch. I really do enjoy it. My personal favorite is the ice. I just think the ice looks pretty cool. I'd also love to see something similar like this, maybe like a kick. I feel like that'd be pretty cool, or something similar to this to return in zombies, especially the elemental part. I would love to see some more elemental stuff return in zombies, so I'm very curious to know, did you guys agree with this list? And if not, put in the comments what you think should have went where, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. Peace.